Hello, horror fans. Welcome to our channel. In this video, we'll count down the best horror movies released in 2023 so far. Before starting the video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications to join the Prime Squad, and stay up to date on all the top things. From terrifying monsters to psychological thrillers, this year has already brought us some spine-chilling films that are sure to keep you up at night. So, without further ado, let's get started with our top 10 list of horror movies you won't want to miss. Number 10. There's Something Wrong with the Children. There's Something Wrong with the Children is a 2023 American horror film directed by Roxanne Benjamin. There's Something Wrong with the Children just released and is exploring some majorly important topics in the horror genre. This film follows two married couples, Ellie and Thomas, who have two children, and another couple, Margaret and Ben, who have decided to focus on their careers and haven't any child. The two couples and children are taking a weekend trip to some cabins in the woods to reconnect with one another and relax. Both couples have their marital struggles and are hoping that this mini vacation can patch up some old wounds. Ellie and Thomas have Margaret and Ben take care of the kids for the night so they can have some alone time. While the kids are with Margaret and Ben, they disappear into the woods and the abandoned fort one night and come back acting strangely. Ben is the only one who notices and can see the children acting sinister, but because of his past and mental health conditions that require mood stabilizers, his wife and friends don't entirely trust his judgment. Unfortunately, for the rest of the adults, they realize Ben is telling the truth when it is already too late. Number 9. Knock at the Cabin. Knock at the Cabin is a 2023 American apocalyptic psychological horror film, based on the novel, The Cabin at the End of the World. The plot revolves around a family vacationing at a remote cabin, who become hostages to four strangers, who claim that the world is going to end, and the only way to prevent it is for the family to sacrifice one of their own. This latest psychological horror thriller centers on a family, Eric, Andrew, and Wen. 7-year-old Wen is vacationing with her fathers, Eric and Andrew, at a remote cabin in rural Pennsylvania, who are terrorized by a group of four heavily armed kidnappers. Leonard, the unofficial leader of the group, tells the family that he and his associates have been commanded by a higher power to plead with the family to sacrifice one of their own. The family is then forced to make a decision, ultimately resulting in the sacrifice of one of the dads to save the world. Alternatively, the death of every single human being on the planet, with the exception of the family. The trailer for Knock at the Cabin promises a tense psychological horror that will have you on the edge of your seat. Number 8. Hughes Era. The Bone Woman. Hughes Era follows Valeria, a middle-class woman who is trying her best to get pregnant. As the movie starts, we see Valeria praying for higher forces to help her become fertile. Valeria is good at building things and has a workshop in her apartment. She builds a crib for her upcoming baby and puts a lot of effort into getting everything ready for the new family member. Valeria always wanted to be a mother and was happy when she found out she was pregnant. However, she feels something is not right. She is cursed by a bad entity, and things become dangerous. Her relationship with her family is strained as a result. Valeria, who is pregnant, experiences a sense of loss of her freedom and resents becoming a mother. She recalls her old girlfriend and the time she spent in her workshop. The Bone Woman, a manifestation of her negative feelings, begins to appear more frequently. And Valeria almost harms her newborn baby because of it. Realizing her responsibility as a mother, she performs a dangerous black magic ritual to exorcise the entity. The ritual successfully expels the Bone Woman because it propels Valeria to accept she is no good for her child. So, Valeria decides to end her marriage, leave her child to be raised by a loving father, and finally pursue the life she truly wants for herself. Number 7. Beau Is Afraid. Beau Is Afraid is a 2023 American surrealist black horror film. The film stars Joaquin Phoenix, plays a man named Beau, who is usually calm but very paranoid. The story is about Beau going on a strange and surreal journey to get back to his mother's house, and along the way, he has to face his biggest fears and insecurities. The story follows the life of Beau Wasserman, the son of a wealthy and eccentric businesswoman named Mona. He grows up without a father and is afflicted with an unusual medical condition that his mother claims are hereditary. As an adult, Beau suffers from extreme anxiety and is living alone in a dangerous city. He takes an experimental drug to cope with his anxiety, which leads to a series of unfortunate events, including his mother's death, a break-in, and a violent confrontation with the police that culminates in a tragic accident. He also discovers that he has a twin brother and that his father is a monstrous figure. In the end, Beau is put on trial and drowned in a crowded arena, seemingly for his mistreatment of his mother. The story is filled with bizarre and disturbing twists and turns. Overall, the movie is a dark and nightmarish exploration of themes related to family, trauma, and human psyche. It features unsettling characters and events, and is characterized by a sense of absurdity and horror. Number 6. The Popes Exorcist. The Popes Exorcist is a 2023 American supernatural horror film directed by Julius Avery. The Pope's Exorcist is based on the true story of Father Gabriele Amorth, a renowned exorcist in the Catholic Church. The movie follows the life of Father Gabriele Amorth, played by Russell Crowe, the chief exorcist of the Vatican and who performed more than 100,000 exorcisms in his lifetime. He performs exorcisms on people possessed by demons and fights against the forces of evil. The movie is set in Rome, where Father Amorth has been tasked by the Vatican to investigate a series of demonic possessions. As he delves deeper into the cases, he discovers that the devil has a plan to take over the world and that he must act quickly to stop it. The movie features intense scenes of exorcism, demonic possession, and supernatural occurrences. It is a chilling and terrifying experience for fans of horror and the occult. Number 5. Renfield. Renfield is a 2023 American comedy horror film directed and produced by Chris McKay. Inspired by characters from the novel Dracula, by Bram Stoker. The film stars Nicolas Cage and Nicholas Hoult in leading roles as Dracula and Renfield. Renfield is a movie about a man who has been serving Dracula for centuries. He has to do everything his master tells him to do, even if it's bad. After hundreds of years, he wants to live his own life but doesn't know how to do it without Dracula. The movie is about his struggle to break free from his master and live on his own. Renfield decides to leave his centuries-long line of work, when he falls in love with traffic cop named Rebecca Quincy. The Renfield movie has some unique twists to traditional vampire lore. Renfield doesn't eat bugs because he's crazy, he eats them as they give him powers. On the other hand, Dracula is petty narcissist and egotistical vampire who thinks that people should either obey him or become his food. Renfield attends group meetings for people in codependent, toxic relationships, and captures the partners they complain about so Dracula has bodies to feed on. Nicolas Cage doing what he does best, which is just being generally brilliant, and any movie that features him going full Prince of Darkness has got to be worth a bloody look. Number 4. Infinity Pool. Infinity Pool is a horror thriller film. The movie features a wealthy couple, James and M. Foster, on vacation in Croatia, who find themselves in a dangerous situation. Starring Alexander Skarsgård, Cleopatra Coleman, and Mia Goth, the movie was shot at Amadria Park Resort in Šibenik, Croatia. The movie takes place at a fancy resort where rich people can do whatever they want. There's lots of crazy stuff going on like cloning, drug parties, and murder. A couple named James and M are having a great time until something bad happens. They meet a woman named Gabby who shows them a different side of the island where there's a lot of violence and scary things. They get into trouble and find out that there are no second chances. If you break the rules, you'll be killed. In short, the movie is about a vacation gone wrong. The couple goes to an island where they find out that there's a dark side to the resort. They get caught up in some bad stuff and learn that there's a very harsh punishment for breaking the rules. The film's intense atmosphere and gripping storyline make it a must-watch for horror fans. Number 3. Scream 6. Scream 6 is a 2023 American slasher film directed by Matt Bettinelli-Alpin and Tyler Gillett. It is the sequel to Scream, 2022, and the sixth installment in the Scream film series. The film features Samara Weaving, Wednesday star Jenna Ortega, as well as Courtney Cox and Hayden Panettiere. In the movie Scream 6, a new Ghostface killer is targeting the people who survived a previous attack in a place, Woodsboro. The survivors thought they were safe in New York City, but Ghostface has followed them there. Two sisters named Sam and Tara in the hopes to starting a new life in New York, but Ghostface continues to haunt them. The Ghostface has followed the survivors to Manhattan, as they ride a crowded subway car on Halloween night. And it's hard to tell who they are because everyone is wearing costumes. This masked murderer is unlike previous versions seems to be even more dangerous and ruthless in tracking down his victims. The film received generally positive reviews and grossed over $167 million worldwide. Number 2. Megan. Killer dolls have been done in horror many times over the decades. Like Chucky and Annabelle, Megan succeeds at standing on its own by creating a character we've never seen before. Megan is a horror film that revolves around Gemma, an inventor who becomes the legal guardian of her niece, Katie, after her parents die in a car accident. Gemma employs an experimental prototype cyborg, Megan, to look after Katie. Megan is a marvel of artificial intelligence, a lifelike doll programmed to speak and walk like a real person. Her implanted purpose is to be a child's greatest companion and a friend, but she takes her mission too seriously and ends up becoming overprotective to the point of murder. Gemma and young Katie are great as the aunt and niece trying to stop Megan's murderous ways. The film is both scary and funny. The creepy dance sequence is so unique that it went viral before the film was ever released. The film explores themes of science gone wrong, motherhood anxieties, and the effective direction make it an entertaining watch. Number 1. Evil Dead Rise. Evil Dead Rise is a 2023 American supernatural horror film written and directed by Lee Cronin. It is the 5th installment of the Evil Dead film series. The film stars Lily Sullivan and Alyssa Sutherland as two estranged sisters trying to survive and save their family from demonic creatures. Evil Dead Rise is a horror movie that shifts from the traditional cabin in the woods setting to a big city, following a family being tormented by deadites. The film features practical effects, humor, and homages to the original Sam Raimi films, making it a fantastic update to the iconic franchise. The villain, played by Alyssa Sutherland, is a mother of 3 children who becomes possessed and turns on her own children. While her sister Beth, played by Lily Sullivan, fights to protect them. Evil Dead Rise is a perfect onboarding movie for newer audiences who've never seen an Evil Dead movie. The movie will delight fans of the horror comedy genre with its refreshing take on the classic formula. We hope you enjoyed the list and found some new movies to add to your watch list. Share this video with your friends who love horror movies. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more informative and interesting videos.